All right, so let's start going over some of these problems. Let me zoom in. Let's figure out what they want. So it looks like they want an equation. So in order to get an equation, I need two things. I need M and I need B. M is my pattern. So this is plus 3, plus 3, plus 1, plus 1. 3 over 1 is 3. So that's my M. My B is the start, the y-intercept. What I need to do is figure out the one that has the 0. Now be careful because this doesn't have a 0, that's a 1. So I need to go backwards. 3, 2, 1, 0. 22, 19, 16, with the pattern being 3, 13. Boom, there's my B. Here's my equation. That would be my answer if I said equation. If I say function, it's f of x equals 3x plus 13. So be careful. If I say equation, this is what I want. If I say function, this is what I want. Okay? All right, let's go to the next one. Franks wants to buy backpacks. He charges $9 per backpack. He has a total of $50. How can you represent domain and range? All right, domain means everything X, and range means everything Y. So what I have to do is identify what is domain and what is range. Well, it looks like we had domain is the amount of backpacks. If you don't know how many backpacks you're going to get, you don't know how much money it's going to be. So I know that that's the backpacks. And then Y is how much money I'm going to spend. So it's not between 0 and 50 because each backpack is $9. So it can be 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, and that's it. So that means I could get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. I could get at most 5 backpacks. So the way I could represent that is between 0 and 5. But I want to introduce some words that I need you to be familiar with for the quiz. And what I need you to get is these either going to get 1 backpack, 2 backpacks, 3 backpacks. Those are whole numbers. Okay? So you want to be careful of those types of things. Negative numbers. It could also be an integer. An integer is a positive or negative number, but they're numbers. Okay? So it wouldn't be a rational number because rational numbers are decimals. So just be careful of that when I'm talking about domain. Range. The range is the amount of money you could spend. So you could either spend 9, 18, 27, 36, or 45. So I could say you could spend between 0 and $50. But if I'm going to do that, could I say all real numbers between 0 and 50? No, because all real numbers, 3.5 is a real number. And 3.5 isn't the price of any backpack, so it wouldn't be a real number. But what I do notice that goes 9, 9, 9, 9, so that's a multiple of 9. Okay, that's just a way to represent it. All right. Let's go to number 3. Use the table to predict the total number of money after 5 days. So this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. Let's look here. It's not plus 8, but what I do notice is that it's times 3, times 3, times 3. So 36 times 3 is 108. 108 times 3 is 324. Hopefully I'm calculating this right. And then, because I'm not as good at doing this, 972. I could have done that in my head. So what I see is that after 5 days, it's $972. I feel like that's one of those things that you just want to be careful you're calculating it correctly. Okay, let's look at another one. It says graphing using any method. So if you don't want to do it my way and you have a way that shows work, that's great. So I'm used to the y equals. That's where I have comfort. So that means this needs to go away, this needs to go away, and this needs to go away. So I remember that the rule was you add or subtract the number in x, divide the number next to the y. So the first thing I'm going to do, since this is minus 3x, I'm going to add 3x. 2y, bye-bye, plus 6 equals 3x. Now the problem is this one messed with me a little bit because usually the 6 is over there. So I'm going to put the 6 over there so I have a little bit more comfort so I can try the second step. These are different. Don't put them together. Now, divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. 3/2 doesn't divide, minus 3. So if on the quiz you don't see the lines, which may happen, just show the work. 1, 2, 3, down 3. And then you're going to go, so let me color code that. Okay, down 3. And then just make sure you're showing work, okay? It doesn't have to be highlighted, but there needs to be some work. I'm going to go up and right because it's positive, so I go up 1, 2, 3, right 2. And then I'm going to play the game, do it again, up 3, right 2. Okay? So I feel like that's good enough. That works. So I'm going to draw the line and show that it goes forever. All right, let's try the next one. This is function notation. If you remember function notation, it just means, hey, whatever that negative is, just plug it in. But plug it into all the x's. So I'm going to go a little bit more slowly on this one to make sure it makes sense. The negative isn't with the x cubed. The negative is next to it. So put a -1 there for your own sanity. Minus -3. Notice what I did. Every time I saw x, I put a parentheses -3, parentheses -3, parentheses -3. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to handle all the exponents. Exponents based on PEMDAS. -3 cubed is -3 times -3 times -3, which is -27. You don't have to do exactly like me, but you have to show work as if you did not use a calculator. You can use a calculator, not your cell phone, but you can use a calculator, which I'll provide for you, but you've got to show all your baby steps. Negatives, I can change that right now. Okay? Now I'm going to multiply. If you don't show all your work, I'm going to assume that you did it all on the calculator. And then you're not showing me you understand. 27 plus 18, which you can do in the calculator. I'm okay with it. Just got to show your work. Now, it's not just 43. What's 43? And you'll lose a point if you don't show me f of -3 is 43. When I input -3, I output 43. Okay? Let's try the next one. It says find the equation. I need two things for equation. I need m and b. Here's my b. I know for my m, I either go up and right or down and right. So I'm going to go down 1 and right 2. So -1/2 is -1/2. So I have my m. Y equals -1/2 x plus 2. Let me move that over so you can see it. Okay, that's the first page of the quiz.